Hey there everyone, today's video is going to be a favorites video and I haven't done one of these for quite some time. I think my last one was in August, but I have quite a few things I would like to share with you guys and, you know, some old favorites that have come back into my repertoire as of recent. Before I get into my favorites, I first wanted to talk to you about a mobile app. And no, it's not Best Fiends. I know everybody and their mother and their cats have been talking about this app, but personally I would never try and sell you guys an app that they have actually approached me. I will never sell you an app that I personally don't play. I am the kind of person that I play crossword games, anything to do with words. I love word games. But this app I downloaded before they actually contacted me. It is Goth Amino. Well, it's Amino, but particularly the community of Goth. And it is fantastic in the way that you get to talk with other like-minded people. It's very much like a Tumblr mixed with a traditional blog. So on that app, I have actually started to do blog posts, and I'm also going to do reviews over there. Mini reviews. I will continue to do video reviews, but for things that I feel like are not able to be covered in video or specific product reviews, I will pop over onto that app. I've been a very active user and I've been able to speak with a lot of you, which is amazing. Instagram gets really overwhelming and I try to talk with as many of you as I possibly can on Instagram, but with the fact that I've gained a lot of followers over the last year on Instagram, it's been very hectic and hard to talk with you guys. So on this app, I am finding it so much simpler to interact on a more personal basis. So if you want to read product reviews as well as connect with other like-minded people, I do highly recommend this app. So I'm very grateful for the fact that they have sponsored this video, but I was going to talk about them anyway because I wanted you guys to know that that's a bit more of a personable place for me, as well as you get more product reviews over there. Anyway, getting straight into the rest of the video, my first favorite in the category of eyes, and I have included so many more categories this time because I have heaps of different things that I would like to talk to you guys about, and I'm not sticking with just fashion and beauty anymore. I feel like I'm coming out of my shell and I'm able to talk with you guys a lot more about things that interest me because I feel like it interests you guys as well. So the first thing in the category of eyes, if you follow me on Instagram, I've been using this almost every day for every makeup look, and it is the Kat Von D Metal Matte Palette. And don't you just love the packaging of this? It's so sleek, it's so beautiful, and it's so much bigger than I originally expected. My partner bought me this as a little gift, kind of a late birthday present, but it is absolutely amazing. The shade range in this palette is absolutely impeccable. I highly recommend this palette. Yes, it has kind of a hefty price tag. It was $96, I believe, in Australia, so nearly $100 for an eyeshadow palette, but the shades are quite large, and considering that the Urban Decay palettes are around $60 in Australia, and you get like that many shades in them, I think this is a pretty decent price when you factor in the other brands and their prices within this country. So next up are two lipsticks that I've been particularly loving. The first one is an LA Splash one, and this is in the shade Heya. I did talk about this. I reviewed this collection, which was the Golden Goddesses collection, and Heya was the one I was wearing in the video and also my favorite. This is so beautiful. I love this shade. I've been obsessed with green lately. I do have green on my eyes right now, but it's kind of a turquoisey green. Again, I used this palette. Ow, I just hit myself in the head. Again, I used this palette for today's look. All the eyeshadows are from that palette, but I digress. This lipstick has been very, very frequent in my repertoire lately. Just anything green. I am obsessed with green lately. Another shade of lipstick that I was wearing a lot about a month ago was actually this one by Black Moon Cosmetics, and this is in the shade Sorrow. This was from the Metal Matte Trinity, which I also reviewed, and just a beautiful metallic blue. If you want to see a full review of how it wears and all of that, I do have a separate video about this. But yes, about a month ago I wore this pretty much every day for about 3 weeks straight and just love. For lashes, I have been pretty much exclusively only wearing lashes from Black Magic Lashes, and they brought out a line of cruelty-free and vegan lashes which are made of a faux mink material. They do also have mink lashes, but of course I don't touch those. This is in the style Riot, and these are kind of like their mid-range ones. They do have these extremely natural looking ones, as well as, you know, the out there, my lashes are going to basically scrape my hairline kind of ones. These ones are the middle ground that I like. I've always liked this particular style of lash, the spread out pointed ones, because it's not spidery lashes, but it does emphasize that classic lash stereotype, I guess. You know, when you're a child, you draw lashes a specific way, and this is kind of how I used to draw them, so that's probably why I'm attracted to these styles. But yeah, like I said, been pretty much exclusively only wearing Black Magic Lashes, and this pair I've probably worn about 8 to 10 times itself, and just as long as you take care of them, your lashes could pretty much last forever. So moving on to the fashion kind of stuff, my favorite accessory has been this. And this is from Regal Rose Jewelry, and it's basically like this clear glass coffin shaped thing with a pressed flower in the center. However, you can change out what you have in the middle. At the moment, I've just got what comes with it. So just that, but you can actually change it out for whatever you want. I'm actually planning on finding some dwarf fern and putting it inside there because I love fern leaves. And the best thing is that you can pretty much change it whenever you want, however you want. It's beautiful for those of you who want to incorporate a bit of nature into your jewelry. The only thing I don't like about this necklace is the lack of a clasp. It is a tie-up fastening, which I don't hate, but I don't love either because it always gets caught in my hair. But despite the fact, I still love this necklace, and you know, it's kind of worth the fact that my hair gets caught in it. It's beautiful. My favorite clothing item, if you follow me on Instagram, you would see that I recently did a photo shoot in these, and I've been adoring them so much. Anytime I go out at night, which is very rare because I don't often go out, I've said before that I'm quite socially inept, but when I do, I have been finding myself reaching for these, and these are a pair of Killstar high-waisted bell-bottom faux leather pants, and that is a bit of a mouthful because I cannot remember the actual name of these pants, but I will link it below. Not an affiliate link or anything like that, just for those of you who want to look at them, I guess. They are absolutely amazing. I love how these fit my body. I feel like it, you know, not to toot my own horn or anything, but I quite like how my bottom looks in these pants, and I really like how it fits on my shape, and also the fact that they are high-waisted and I can wear crop tops with this because, you know, if you've been here for a while, you'd know that I lost a lot of weight, so I have a bit of excess skin on parts of my body, and this hides the main part, so very much in love with these pants. So the last fashion item I'm going to talk about is actually a pair of shoes that I'm going to be filming a review of tomorrow. These are a pair of summer loafers from Goth Pikes, and I have reviewed their shoes before. I do adore their shoes, but I needed, well, I don't need new shoes, but I wanted something that was a bit more acceptable for Australian summer. Some of the comments on my summer lookbook video from last year were quite rude with the fact that they were poking fun at me for wearing big boots in the death throes of Australian summer. But I did take some of the advice on board, and I have been searching for gothy summer shoes, or shoes that are a little bit more acceptable to wear in summer without being looked at like a complete lunatic. So these were one of the ones I was able to find, and I think they're absolutely amazing. I'm not going to give away too much because, like I said, I am filming a full shoe review of these, and I can tell you now, I freaking love these. So moving on with some other miscellaneous items, the first thing I wanted to show you guys is this. This company, Bluestar Coloring, they do a whole bunch of goth and Halloween inspired coloring books. And now, while I wasn't one of those people who really believed the fact that coloring could alleviate a lot of stress, I have been suckered in, and I am converted. Consider me converted. I sit there and color whenever I get too stressed, and especially at the moment I'm working 7 days a week. And while that sounds really, really intense, I do it to myself. I like to be busy, but I think I've taken on a little bit too much at the moment, so I'm completely worn down, and when things get too stressful, I take a break, a breather, whatever, and color a book. And this contains some of the coolest stuff. That's the one I'm working on at the moment. It's like this evil zodiac thing. But yeah, love them. I absolutely adore them. I highly recommend you check out Bluestar Coloring. Not sponsored, just really, really adore these. A piece of literature that I've been adoring lately, and yes, I'm talking about books again, is this book. And this is one of my Edgar Allan Poe books. This is a complete works, but I have a second complete works which I keep on my fancy bookshelf. This is my beat 'em up kind of copy of it because this was my original and it's torn to pieces. There are pages missing, so certain stories I can't really read, including my favorite, The Black Cat. But yes, particularly the poetry section of this book has been getting an absolute beating. That comes because in the last few weeks of my daughter's school year, because in Australia it's now school holidays, we're on summer holidays, the last few weeks of her school term they were learning about poetry. And yes, she's only 6 years old, but they were learning about poetry. And she asked me what my favorite poem was. So I showed her my back tattoo and I said, this is from a poem, and I read her the poem and she absolutely adores it. Her favorite Edgar Allan Poe poem, however, is A Dream Within a Dream, and obviously mine is The Raven. So we together have been going through all the poetry within this book and rereading a lot of it, and yeah, just having a blast. So something that I wanted to talk about, I might also put these in a recent Antiques and Oddities haul because I have picked up a few things recently that I'm very, very proud of. So two of the items that I have picked up are these. These are antique silk paintings, and just I'm obsessed with silk paintings, especially when they're in these Italian Baroque frames. A lot of the originals come within these kind of frames, so they all have similar shapes. I've never seen a square one, or well, I have before, but they're very rare. So, and this was a freebie that was thrown in because nobody wants to buy creepy little girls in paintings for some reason. So this is the third one I have been given for free that contained a little girl. So absolutely adore these, and yeah, just I love silk paintings. I'm trying to fill up a whole entire wall with antique paintings, particularly these little silk ones. Are just something about them. While I'm on that subject, I want you to comment down below something that's a little bit strange that you like to collect. So finishing up with my favorites, my favorite song lately, I have had a couple, but my favorite has been Year Zero by Ghost BC. I'm in love with Ghost. They are a modern twist of 70s and 80s prog rock and, you know, early metal. So I'm absolutely in love with the band. I cannot convey enough how much I love Ghost. They have quickly slipped into probably my top favorite of all-time artists. I know some people really don't like them, but I adore them. Their music mixed with their showmanship is everything to me. So with that being said, my favorite artists and bands lately, obviously Ghost BC, also the band Ghosting. It's kind of a goth dark wave band group. And also Pussifier. Pussifier and their album Money Shot have been very, very well played lately. I really like a lot of the songs off that album. I'm a big fan of anything Maynard Keenan does. Maynard Keenan is the frontman of Tool and also A Perfect Circle, and Pussifier is another one of his musical projects. Everything he touches musically turns to gold. It's amazing. Well, in my opinion, I love everything he does. And there are a lot of songs off the Money Shot album that sound like they actually belong to Tool. And because it's been 10 years since Tool put out an album, it's, you know, been really, really comforting to listen to. And finally, moving on to my favorite TV show or movie, and as you guys know, I don't really watch that much television or movies or anything like that, but a lot of you guys were actually suggesting to me a show called Black Mirror, and it's a Netflix original, but it's amazing. It's one of those ones that every episode is a whole new storyline. It's one of those shows also I would not recommend to anyone who is emotionally down in the dumps, because nothing ever works out well for anyone, from what I've seen. I'm up to the second episode of third season, and so far nothing's worked out for many people. However, my favorite episode so far is White Bear, and that was quite a major twist. Not what I expected at all, but I loved that episode so much. So I hope you enjoyed this favorites video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, because I'd love to be here for every single video. Like this video if you liked these favorites. Comment down below if there's something you'd like to see on this channel. Also, that question that I asked you earlier, what are some weird and kooky things that you like to collect? And hope you all have a fantabulous day.